Hey guys, it's the 5th time I tried to record this video. Up front, my room is really dusty and I am really too lazy to clean it right now. So I'm gonna cough a lot. And yeah, I didn't even realize it was this dusty before I started recording YouTube videos and fully speaking. So yeah, I'm really sorry for that. What I wanted to do in this video is make like a snapshot. I wanted to make an announcement for myself to stop my distro hopping and stick to one distro. This is going to be Bluefin, Linux, Universal's Blue version of GNOME, basically, of a GNOME distro. I wanted to share with you the options I had, what meditations and thought process I had to choose between them. And so you can choose also your Linux distro, because if you're searching for a Linux distro, this is the video for you. Here you're gonna 100% find the best. I think these are the best Linux distros which exist currently. So yeah, I want to make a pledge or like a promise for myself to use Bluefin for at least 1 year and then decide if I stick to it or not. Also, in the recent future, I would like to contribute to a project, but I kinda don't want to start doing it if I'm switching distros that hard all the time. So yeah, let's get right to the options. Again, like this video is going to be really short, because yeah, I will start coughing immediately almost. So yeah, let's get right into it. Basically, these were the options I had. We're talking about OpenSUSE Aeon, Silverblue, let's say Bluefin, and the weird kid on the block, NixOS, or even Geeks, bro. Okay. I'm not going to trash any distros. Like, if you're a newbie, start using Ubuntu, then use it for 3 months and then come back to this video. Then choose your distro here. What do we want in a distro? We want to be atomic, meaning we know closure. We are big closure fans on this channel, so it's closure. What does closure have? Read only data structures by default. All data structures are read only. Good idea. You know why? Because if you have a system with only writable stuff, it's gonna be a hell of a lot of a mess. And your computer is actually hell. Like, there are so many things going on with your computer you don't even know. Even if you have a I don't know, clean Alpine Arch Linux, there's like millions lines of code running at the same time. So cluttering everything up, making every package also writable on the fly, it's crazy. So what does it give us? Rollbackable. We want a rollbackable system. This is basically what I mean by this. I would say rock solid, but yeah, actually the whole idea is our laptop has to boot. I don't ever want to make an update where the laptop doesn't boot afterwards. I also don't want to be scared of doing updates. It's like what? Legit, if you're on sorry, I'm just gonna trash a bit, but if I used it, I can kind of say my opinion, because I used it like for 3-4 years. If you're on OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, and they used it like for 2 years, and you have a lot of packages installed in the zipper and not in the Flatpak, you are really scared of doing a separate up, because you have 7,000 packages. Bro, you know this shit's gonna take first a lot, and then if something doesn't fly well, bro, like your computer might be trash. So, not shitting on anything. This also wouldn't work on Ubuntu or any other of these old way of distros. So yeah, for now, let's actually disregard this. and think about the circled options we have. So yeah, how do you, good question, how do we achieve it? The laptop, basically an unbreakable laptop doesn't exist, right? Because even if you have some way of rollback mechanism here, you still have to boot until to it. But you know, this whole upper limit you can make easier, you know, you can make much better. So you can cover like 80% of the crap that can happen in the boot process, or something not working on your machine at the end, you know, Wi-Fi not starting, anything, you know, and your computer has basically to go this little step. But of course, a perfect system doesn't exist. Like, you still can get boot problems with all these distros, because like something has to come from something. It's getting more philosophical. So let's just get through it. OpenSUSE Aeon, what is the idea? We take an OpenSUSE tumbleweed in a small, like almost core system. We manage the tumbleweed inside of it using transactional upgrade or something. Transactional upgrade. They have like basically a command for it, but what is calling under the hood is basically zyperdub. So it's updating the tumbleweed inside, and then we just have Flatpak. And here we have Distrobox. Simple. Basically, GUI applications, right, in a container. And here we just flat out use a container. It can be Arch Linux just to do all our messy work in there. And if the messy work fails, yeah, it's only the container. So you just throw away the container, get a new one. This is the idea. I really like Richard Brown. I follow him. I have seen his talks. Like, the good thing about here is your tumbleweed is really open. You know, this can be a good or a bad thing, depends. Your tumbleweed is an open system, so this is a real tumbleweed. You can install any crap in here. So if you go you drop in your system shell, your root, bro, you can install anything there. You can install some crappy software which will break your system. So yeah, and you cannot like, then you have to really to roll back to get it really away. So yeah, but this might be a good point. Maybe you need on a system level some sort of really, like, you have to mess with your system. And you are really not a normal user like me. I'm basically just what I do. I like program. That's it. That's the highest thing I can, technical thing I do. But if you really need to do some technical thing where you need to be on this boot level operating system, which boots first, then it might be a great system for you because you actually have full access on it. Another good thing is it is rollbackable. It's a rolling release. It is rolling, so you don't have like dates or versions, like clear-cut versions like Fedora 42, 43. You just have it roll to the end completely. In the idea, as soon as you, as long as your hardware works, you can still get new updates. What are the drawbacks? I just experienced a few problems with the updates, especially this ones. I kind of chose OpenSUSE Aeon as a daily driver maybe a few months ago, and sometimes I would boot, like I did it for family members and stuff. And yeah, sometimes it would boot and it wouldn't have Wi-Fi, I wouldn't see Wi-Fi. So yeah, something with the Wi-Fi card or driver wasn't working. So I would just immediately roll back and then it was working. Or for example, on this computer at the Aeon, it just wouldn't flat out boot. I don't know why, it just wouldn't boot. So yeah. These were kind of my biggest complaints, but again, I'm not trashing on Aeon. It's a great system. It's just like, for me, like here, the whole idea is it is like they call it the Chromebook experience, so automatic. Yeah, automatic updates all the time, and I kind of with this system cannot really trust it to make an automatic update. Sure, I'm a technical user, so even if he does an automatic update, I can always roll back. But one important point also in considering, because all these Linux distros are great, like OpenSUSE Aeon is much fucking better than fucking Ubuntu. I'm sorry, just to make it clear, because I'm trashing. I don't want to trash Aeon. I also don't want to trash Richard Brown's stuff, his project. But yeah, I kind of want it to install for, I don't know, for any person in my family, and not to worry about the rollbacks. I don't want even to tell him about rollbacks. I actually want to tell him only about the Flatpaks. That's it. Because for me, yes, sure, we have a rollback, but it's like a safety rope. It is not like the main idea of yeah, now kind of it's excusable that our Linux doesn't boot. Like it's really their last hope and resort. So yeah, again, this has good points, has bad points. For me, sadly, the decision between Red Hat and SUSE, I'm really sorry, but kind of Red Hat does their stuff much more polished in Linux. I just feel always like this. Even in the old days when I used Tumbleweed versus Fedora, like Fedora just comes and just like, whoa, it's just so, everything just seems so well integrated and so thought through, and like all the software is recent. The computer is not getting slow. Even after kind of long time of use, it is like not slowing down. Yeah, of course, like in the old days, like the DNF was really slow as hell. He would like he would surge like so slow, but I think they fixed it, and yeah, whatever. So they had other problems in the olden days, but I'm really sad to say it. But this is kind of the reason why I installed Silverblue the other day. So here, exactly the same concept. You have like a main system. Let's call it just OS. Yes, Flatpaks, and here you just have Toolbox. Basically the same thing as DistroBox, but from the Fedora people. And in the S, by the way, the OpenSUSE, what does it do? He manages his Tumbleweed with Btrfs snapshots. So your Tumbleweed that you saw here before, you come in as Tumbleweed 1, then you do some operation, can be any operation, and he makes a new snapshot. And if this snapshot is successful in Btrfs, he will boot onto it. And if not, you can roll back to this one. But basically, yeah, the idea is not like in OpenSUSE Tumbleweed that you kind of create a snapshot before and then start updating the system while it's moving, and you kind of fall back to the latest snapshot if it's not broken. I really like this idea because you can completely continue using your computer without any fear of like your programs intertwining or whatever, because he's writing the updates to a completely new snapshot untouched by your system. And on the next rollback, he will actually boot onto it. So yeah, we have the mechanism of Btrfs snapshotting. Here the mechanism is RPM OS3. This one I don't understand fully. I'm much familiar with the Btrfs one. But I kind of think this works the way that you have like a core system, and this has like a hash. It's like crazy. You have like some sort of hash here, and then you can have a layer on it, like with another hash. I don't know, 1, 2, 6, like another layer, and then you can have another layer and another layer. And the idea of here is it is like almost a Git repo. So you have like a, let's say OS1, right, or OS0. And they do an update. It is almost like a git pull. You pull this one and replace this one. And I think if you have like a, I'm not here on this one, I'm completely not sure. So if you, for example, install a package, like here you just install it in the running tumbleweed in the turning tumbleweed installation there in the main system. But let's say you just install htop, it actually installs here on a layer, so it's kind of separate. And I think when it updates, it updates the system and the layer separately, I think. So it's like OH20, maybe OS1, something like this. Again, I'm not quite sure, but I think it kind of works like this. You have some sort of main system and layers in there. Again, I'm not technically smart enough to say which one is better. I just feel like the Fedora people stuff is kind of more polished with their idea of, like, for me it's just like cooler because I actually never really want to mess with the system. So in both cases, like, it's kind of relevant for me, but like the RPM thing just is like, I think they kind of did some, I don't know why they didn't just choose to do it with Btrfs snapshots, because frankly the Btrfs stuff is just, you don't have to implement a whole new program, this RPM OS3 infrastructure, but maybe there was a reason, but like, I don't know, it works kind of well. And so yeah, I installed this last week, and this week I tried finally Bluefin. And Bluefin is just the same idea like Silverblue, but batteries included. And boy is it good. Bluefin, the only idea which changes on Bluefin is basically you have, let's say I have Silverblue. This is what I understood from reading the documentation. Maybe it's wrong, but you have a Silverblue, and he actually doesn't like come in normally. It is actually a Docker container. Yeah, like I call it Docker container. I know they are called like OSI containers, but let's face it, it's just a Docker container. You know, OCI containers or whatever. But this is the name after effect. Docker was first, so it's a Docker container. So it's a Docker container which actually boots with a tool they call boot C, right? Like boot container, I think. This is the tool that they call. And so Silverblue is actually just a Docker container which just boots there. And this is their build of their system. So they just call it like, let's say Fedora, and then they just have a, like they just have a version 42. Sorry, they call it Bluefin obviously, but they have like a Bluefin container, right? It's called like the Fedora version. Then the day, let's say 25.11.09, and then like which version of this day. So the first version, for example, which was built on this day. And that's it. They put it here. I'm just gonna say it's Silverblue. And they install you also. They install you also DistroBox. You have actually both. You have DistroBox. You have Flatpaks. You have Toolbox. And you have Homebrew. You have Homebrew in there, which is also good. I'm gonna talk in my next video about it. And yeah, like they install you cool GNOME extension stuff. I disable all the extensions. I don't need them. Don't want GNOME or anything to crash. Like vanilla GNOME is good for me. But if you ever use them, bro, your computer looks like a macOS, and it's not a bad thing. This is what drove me crazy. Because I was playing with NixOS, I was playing with anything, I was playing with geeks. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at these people like George Hotz, like Rich Hickey, and like these people I kind of, I look up to. And what are they using? They're using fucking Macs. And I was like always thinking like, oh no, but why aren't they using Macs? They're technically capable of like installing Linux and getting the freedom and stuff like that. Not that I ever would use a Mac. I would just say to myself, why are these people that I like admire are using Macs? And then I just realized that it is a problem actually with myself. Like they're using Macs just to get the job done. They open a MacBook and yeah, just start working basically immediately. They're not worrying about all this things. And so this is exactly what I kind of wanted to go back. I wanted really a computer which is atomic, solid, which has all the benefits Linux can give you, right? That it can be rollbackable, it can be really solid, rock solid, it can be a really good desktop for free, like literally for free. You don't have to pay a penny. And all these developers worked hard to give you that experience. But at the end of the day, also that you don't tinker with it. This was like my important thing, because I tinkered with every distro you can imagine. I tinkered with, even those you cannot, like, you don't even ever heard. I watched talks about them, some Chimera Linux with like BSD user space tools, userland tools. Yeah, I have OpenBSD, and so like I realized I need to stop tinkering. I need to get work done. It just works, this type of thing. So maybe a macOS look it isn't really that bad. Again, you can opt out all the time. This is what I kind of like. But all the cool bells and whistles are kind of pre-installed. You can roll into your TPM. So yeah, if you have a TPM in your machine, you can it enrolls the key for secure boot and stuff like that. It just works really nicely. Has the codecs pre-installed. It is like really a Silverblue, but like a bit better, like batteries included. This is exactly what it does. It does it really well. I actually enjoy their homebrew. I didn't even thought about it, but yeah, homebrew is kind of cool. And now, this was the weird kid on the block, and I was like thinking, damn. Now, we have like a split, and we think about NixOS. I'm sorry, guys from Geeks. I just look at NixOS. It's just like, I'm sorry, like it's a more practical approach. I really like your scheme guile and stuff like this, also because I want to write Clojure. But the powerhouse we're talking about right now for really daily use, and also like sometimes you just need to just like also the availability of software, not even that I kind of use proprietary software or closed source software, but like NixOS is crazy on availability. And this is actually the main idea of NixOS. So all these guys are basically saying a one package manager war lost, right? All these distros say we lost the one package manager war. What do I mean by this? We have one Linux distro, we have one package manager, and now the distro has to ship all the other packages with it. We have to repackage everything. We have to host but they have to host their own repos where all the packages are. And yeah, and this one package manager will magically update all the software on your computer and stuff like that, and it's going to update it on the fly, and there wouldn't be any problems. Nah, these guys are telling this is not possible. This is not good. You know, their answer to this is we have a small OS, right? What I drove in like this. We have a small OS and we have Flatpak. And Flatpak is like 80%. And this one is like maybe 20 or even 10%. That's it. Here you're gonna use most of your applications. That's it. And if you need some others, yeah, let's say it's 10%, and the other 10% is like brew. It's like brew / some sort of box, distro box or toolbox. You can choose for yourself. So here the guys are saying package manager were lost, and NixOS says one package manager. One package. I'm just going to call it M. One package manager to rule them all. The package manager called Nix. and this is their idea. Idea of Nix is obviously that you have a Nix store. Don't want to go into the details, but basically every package you build, let's say it's Firefox, any package it relies on, like, I don't know, like package 1, package 2 has a hash. So it has some sort of identifier. It's package 2 and stuff like this. And these are separate packages. This means there could be like some other software which also has package 2, but they're not shared in the same version. If this package is in some way, shape, or form different, if it's the same hash, it's going to be reused, obviously, but if it's in some shape or form, some small version is even different than this package than this one, it's gonna get a new hash. It's gonna be like a new hash, It's not gonna be reused. So basically the idea is this is the same idea like Flatpaks and all this stuff have, right? What does a Flatpak do? A Flatpak installs you layers. These are the same layers. The OS tree installs you layers. And you have these same layers basically built into your package manager, built into your Linux. In the Nix store. So, really great. But I was thinking about how to make it really brains off. I needed brains off distro. So I was thinking about, okay, what can we do? Oh, God. In the etc configuration X. etc configuration X, right? Just a simple git init. I was thinking about it, right? Not pushing to any remote source, not worrying about which machine is what, like do I have this in this Git project or whatever, syncing with them, resolving merge conflict. No, nothing. Just one git init. It is offline. Just you don't mess with your Nix config and don't notice it. It is safe, secure, sound. Okay. Again, only packages, services. Just only add packages. Don't learn fucking Nix. Only add some packages and services to the system, right? Open it with an editor, like fucking VS Codium if you want. Just make a Codium wait. Make Codium wait as your editor. Open it, add your packages, close it. Nix rebuild switch. That's it. NixOS rebuild switch. That's it. I was thinking about it and it sounded really great. But, I mean, at the end, 2 points are speaking against NixOS. And this is why I actually evaluated on many layers. I'm not choosing only a distro for me. What about family? It's actually a big thing for me. Because most of the time, why I don't choose Nix, it is such a great distro. Even if you don't, I like many aspects of it I wouldn't be using. Reproducibility. And yeah, like this, you can copy your configs anywhere. Like I wouldn't personally use it. Maybe we would just put it on GitHub. So if something happens with the laptop, I kind of don't have to rewrite all the packages. I can just, just reproduce the same kind of laptop, reinstall NixOS. But I don't make it like I have one server and I'm not doing this. I just have one laptop and I'm fine with it. But like for family, I feel like it is kind of a problem because I just cannot install NixOS for someone non-technical. And this is a big deal because now for a non-technical person, I need to have another distribution. Guess what? It is Bluefin. I would recommend Bluefin. And now there is the split problem I kind of encountered when I do this type of stuff. Some person in the family will have a problem with his distro or his or her distro. And I cannot really easily fix it over telephone. Like even Like I want to really just know the answer, like immediately, like without ChatGPT, without looking up, just know what to do, and that's it. Like maybe a quick video share, that's it. Just I don't know the answer if I'm in Nix world, because like this is Linux world and we are in Nix world, bro. These are completely separate worlds. This is the thing about NixOS. You are in a completely whole other universe. You are in the Nix universe and you do this stuff the Nix way. Nix way. If you have a problem on your computer, it is probably because you didn't specify something in your config, NixOS. And you need to find that expression, write the expression in Nix, put it there, and yeah, afterwards just rebuild. And this is kind of the thing. So you're in this split universe, and for example, on your day job, etc., family, etc., when you cannot use it, you are kind of fucked, because you learn this kind of Nix things, but you kind of still need the old Linux knowledge. So for me, it's just like, but it is great. What is the great thing about it? The way I was like almost convinced to take it. It was such a pain to let it go, but like it is functional. It is a functional programming language which produces a working system, right? OS 0, I don't know, right? It just it takes the it takes the config, produces the functional, builds the store and everything else, all the services. Crazy good. And we are closure lovers on this on this channel. Closure. Yeah. Another functional language would be great, but at the end of the day, I was thinking like, hey, it is like, why did I look at geeks before? Hey, they also have parentheses, that's cool and stuff. But at the end of the day, I now realize I cannot learn them all. Even if I learn scheme, it is for me useless. I would just rather learn more closure. This is what I'm gonna do, and this is how I'm gonna end the video. So this is actually why I chose Bluefin. All these were great. Just a quick summary. OpenSUSE Aeon, Btrfs, like the good butter by the Fisher Btrfs as rollback mechanism, and like also as transactional update. That's to make a transactional atomic update. We have Btrfs. This one just uses the Nix store with the Nix package manager. It just like built in, and this is crazy. They had rollback ability before it was like thing. Like they had rollback ability in 2010, I think, and even 7. This is crazy. Like you realize that if it wouldn't be for today, I would just immediately go to NixOS and give my family Ubuntu. That's it. That's probably what I'm doing. But like now we kind of all the other Linux folks are catched up and thought, hey, maybe it is great to have like a good system, like an atomic system. This gives you also reproducibility. Don't really care about that, so we need to make a compromise. NixOS gives you that. Need to make a compromise. Cannot learn them both. You know, Linux and Nix. So I want kind of Linux for everyone, and not only for myself. And also this is like more server, and if you manage servers and this shines really a lot. This has cumulative effect. If you're just working on a machine just to use a bit of software and doing a bit of programming, any of these will work fine. Silverblue, RPM OS 3. OS 3. Bluefin, I would say like they're related obviously, but this is a whole, you have to understand this is a whole new project. Like here it is like containers. This is basically the spirit. Containers, everything is a container. And yeah, this new popular belief on containers. And actually, if you really think about it, they're actually in a quote unquote head race. Because these guys say, hey, package managers are obsolete. Like one package manager is obsolete. Put everything in containers. Just containerize everything. Containerize the Silverblue you're shipping down to everything else. NixOS says, bro, just one language, one package manager, take a function, build the system, boot it. It's crazy. And no containers. Here are like no containers. So yeah, I don't know who's gonna win. I don't think there's a clear winner. I'm most certainly not technical enough to state an opinion on it. I'm just gonna pick this side because it's more noob friendly. And I like to be a noob again. I just want for some point of time just to focus on my project. What does this button do? Oh, cool. Focus on my project. Just be a noob again, not to think too much about all this stuff. And yeah, this is how I'm going to end the video. So if you liked watching me rant for 30 minutes, thank you very much. And yeah, please write me your experiences and your suggestions in the comments. I would appreciate to read through them. Thank you and bye-bye.